Hello everyone and welcome to the third and final round of the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. Great lead card action coming at you. We've got Anthony Barela out in front by 4 strokes over one Parker Welck sitting at 15. Also Peter Green, we'll have him on coverage for the first time, and rounding out the card at 13 under, Andrew Filimoehala. Guys, you begged for it. You pleaded. You said he was great. We got him back. Parker Welck joins me in the booth again. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Let's get right into it. Hole 1, 284 feet. We have that daunting triple mando along with the OB left and long. Just get through the triple mando here.
Seen some low ceiling issues. AB caught a tree early yesterday. Pretty consistent play so far. He opened with a 9 under, followed it up with a 10. Now has a 4-stroke advantage over you and Peter. Talk about the wind. We're seeing the flanner just a little bit, and everybody was panicked over the pending rain that was coming, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we got kind of lucky. It was just sprinkles for most of the day, but the wind was all right. It wasn't too breezy, just enough to maybe throw you off.
See, the ground is a little more compact and not quite as dusty because of that sprinkling and rain. And Peter, park job. And tagging the left side. Doesn't have any issues with missing the mando, so he'll be throwing there. This is his second.
Going out of bounds long. He should have a relatively close putt comeback.
Somewhat of a rough start. Just off the front of the cage. And you're almost in the exact same spot. Is there a little divot there?
Yeah, there's actually a pin position there, and I found myself in pretty much the worst possible footing you can be in on flat ground. But we're going to try and make it work.
About 38 feet or so to open up the round. How are you feeling nerves-wise when you step up? It's final round, lead card.
Not too bad. You know, I love being on camera. You know, I'm just playing around with the guys again. Dead center.
That's got to build a little confidence.
Oh, and he looked back at the camera.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Someone was feeling it.
Spicy Boy is out there capturing the action. So Andrew goes deep, and so this is a comebacker.
Good hit. I'm excited to watch Andrew play again. Well, I mean, we played today, but I was focusing on my game. I'm excited to watch it.
Not too long ago, we saw his brother Cade also. Feels like every time I come to Arizona, one of the two are playing well enough that we see him on camera. And Peter had to run back just for his park job. We head over to 2. What are they trying to do?
Hole 2, 415 feet. It's kind of a pull if you want to go over everything on the right side, or you can shoot up the gap backhand or forehand. But there is a lot of low ceiling and trees you got to work with once you get closer to the pin.
This is the new pin that they pushed back last year. We saw them go to this 415-foot one. It used to be only about 380 or 390.
Ooh, flips a tree down the fairway.
And we're seeing early that Peter's a big fan of kind of giving that kind of almost not quite a chop, but really going overstable on the forehands and then trying to have it fight back. And that one's in your park job.
I think it's fair to call it a chop.
Okay. Maybe not quite enough Annie on that by Barela. It's going to leak out on the short right side.
Andrew electing to go for the big spike hyzer over everything. Oh, just barely does not make it back in bounds. I believe we saw Drew do that in yesterday's round.
So from there, bogey at best, just like we saw from Drew. So Andrew off to a slow start here in the first 2 holes. Not quite low enough, huh? Just did that one just get up and float on you, or trying to be aggressive?
Just high out of the hand. Just, you know, an inch lower, it's under the basket, but it's all right. Out left, really not any nerves. I think for me, this was more of like I'm still in that learning curve of these brand new putters for me. These are definitely a little bit more thick and wider than I'm used to, so I'm still kind of getting used to them.
Like that's a personal jab, thick and wide. Okay, so what are you putting with out here? Because I'm sure everybody wants to know as we see the birdie here by Peter.
So right now I'm putting with the steady BLs. Not typically a fan of the large beaded putters, so went for more of that smoother feel. Anthony doing a great job of saving par there. And I also wanted to point out, these guys are in shorts and a t-shirt. It was really chilly out there today. You'll see me in pants. I got the hoodie underneath the shirt. They're wearing some long sleeves and they're taking it off to throw, so it is pretty cold.
Everyone's definition of chill is a little different, especially when you get to a place like Samui there where we'll see 80 degrees but 60 or 70% humidity. It gets warm quick there as we head over to 3.
Oh, 360 feet. You just need to avoid going out of bounds right for the hyzer play and don't want to mess with that tree on the right. If you get behind it, you don't really have a putt.
Very stable. It's going to fight back, get a couple of skips, and I'm definitely sensing a pattern here from Peter.
Yeah, I've played with Peter. We played a couple practice rounds, and he throws so far forehand. Definitely up there in like AB range for sure.
Speaking of AB, going with the putter. Going to leak out to the left side, kind of short, similar to where we saw him yesterday.
Slightly turned over, heading for that danger tree, but gets a nice little skippy to the left.
And what are you throwing there?
That was a rift. It's a great disc if you want to like hold whatever line you're throwing it on.
Barela just a step inside the circle, but dead center. So finally picking up his first birdie here on the 3rd hole. And this has to be a branding issue, right? Peter green shorts. I mean, green shorts aren't that common to begin with, right?
Definitely not. I mean, if it's you said it was his first time here on camera for you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to stand out here.
I like it. And we see you pick up the birdie. Andrew in short range, maybe trying to get back on track here after a relatively slow start. What they say at the USDGC, green is good. So I like where he's going with this as we head over to hole number 4.
And hole number 4, 381 feet, but it plays a lot farther only because you got to throw a giant hyzer over the right side. I'm sure we're going to see Peter throw a forehand because I feel like that's all he's thrown so far. But for the most part, just hug it tight to that tree on that right and have it come back left, maybe get some ground play. Just give yourself a putt.
I feel like that's a copy and paste from the previous 2 rounds. Barela having no problems here with hole 4 this weekend.
And you guys notice the tee pads. They are just caked in dirt and wetness. And if you guys have played out here before, you know the tee pads are already kind of slick. So imagine that times 2.
And so with that, I guess here's what we're going to see. One of those solutions, perfectly legal. I think that's a great question that some people will ask. This is allowed to do, of course. And I think it's quite the pro move. I'm a big fan of that.
I think I was talking to someone else, and he recommended putting socks over his entire shoe while playing in a wet round.
Huh. That's one I haven't heard.
Looks a bit wide. Skips back. And the roll. Nice.
All right, so some pretty solid drives here on 4. And if you're out and going first, that means some impressive shots for sure. See if this is going to be the start. Hopefully it should be a birdie frame. Oh, yeah, look how close everyone is. So with that, Anthony should maintain a 4-stroke advantage. Now, up a couple of holes on the 3rd card, we see that Drew Gibson also getting off to a very hot start. Feels like round 1 and round 3 have been his rounds so far. I want to say he's something like 5 under through the first 7, a couple holes ahead of you guys. But also started almost a dozen back of you. We head over to 5.
Hole 5, we have the quad Mando, 386 feet. People are really just trying to land safe directly in the middle of the second 2 Mandos. Give yourself maybe a putt for 2, but most of the time we're just seeing a 3 here.
You really have to make the decision right out of the gate, right? You're saying, I'm going to go after this or I'm going to lay up. I think when you're tentative and you're in between, that's when you make a stupid mistake and then you miss a Mando or take a bogey.
Absolutely don't second guess yourself on this hole.
That flips up. You're trying to keep it a little more center. No problem with the Mando, though. And that goes past, so that's going to be a missed Mando. And that means he'll go to a drop zone.
That's the scary part about being aggressive with it. That drop zone is very tough. Although you do get a look at saving the 3, it's hard to do. Very pretty shot there.
Just a little forehand here.
Should be routine. Oh,
Oh, no.
not routine.
Wow, lucky you didn't actually go past the tree on that right side and actually miss the Mando.
Yeah,
But you are in terrible position.
Yeah, it was very close to going out because all you have to do is barely touch that plane and you're out of bounds. So luckily we were safe there. Anthony with the bid for 2. Decent.
I feel like even on the putt here, you have to be completely committed. Either you're for sure going for it and giving it a bid, or you should just be throwing it right at the base of the basket. With it being elevated, you don't want to leave anything left on the comebacker. You stretch out to the left. Oh, come on.
Very nice. There's actually a hole in the tree if you go back and rewind that right through the leaves in the top right. I went straight through it.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, saving par after what I did there was that was huge for me. Solid putt from Andrew to get that bogey, keep his composure, and
Pretty much the best you can do when you're, like you said, when you miss the Mando and you have to go to that drop zone, bogey is almost a given. This is the hole I was thinking that you're making a push, you're trying to do something big on that final round, this might be one where you're saying, hey, I'm going to go aggressive and change up my game plan. But for you guys, a couple of pars or 3 pars and the one mistake by Andrew. Four-stroke lead still for Barela. Big shout out to our friends over at Zing as we head to 6.
Now, hole 6, 783 feet. Not the furthest par 4 in the world, but you do have to get around some trees. You're either going to see a forehand hyzer or a backhand hyzer off the tee, and whatever you can to get it close to the pin. There's OB left, OB right, and OB deep.
Also playing to an elevated basket just for a little more challenge. You talked about the tee pad. We're seeing it there. That's about as messy as we've seen a tee out on this course ever. And when you're thinking hyzer here, is that because you're worried about your footwork or the shot that's easiest? What's kind of the thought process on a hyzer there as opposed to the forehand?
Well, there's just a couple of things in the middle you got to just go around just to find that landing zone. So you just got to go to the left of it or just to the right of it. And we see Peter with that chop forehand leaking out left.
That, I don't believe, fights back enough. And you see that as it somewhat parallels hole number 14 over on that left side. Relatively routine there for Andrew. Oh, and you called it. That is elite level forehand power. That's ridiculous.
I asked him what he threw, and he said he threw a Raptor, which is, and what, he was over 400 feet probably back there? That's a bomb.
And not too shabby yourself. What were you going to forehand with there?
That was also a Raptor.
Okay. And I perfectly kind of queued up unintentionally. Some people will ask, with DGA sponsorship, what does it look like in terms of what you're allowed to throw, what you're not allowed to throw? Do you have to lean on certain things?
Yeah, with DGA, I'm trying my best to throw the DGA discs, and they're all really fun to throw. But if there are some missing slots, I am able to go to Discraft and use some of those. Anthony, not the best spot back there, having to throw from a knee, so he's pretty short. At least he has a look here.
Solid bid to the elevated pin, but I'm going to call the pace somewhat slow when you're talking just 2 under through the first 6. And although you started 4 back of them, you're going to pull within 3 now, as you've gone 3 under through the first 6. I think about 90% of disc golfers put where we saw Peter after the OB stroke, and you're not getting up and down and saving a par.
Absolutely
you're just not.
You're throwing it out of bounds again from where he was if you try to throw it that hard.
Yeah, if not, turned over to the left and out of bounds, maybe you're putting too much on it, carrying it over to the right. You're right. That was such an incredible par save. And Andrew's going to pick up another birdie. That's going to fight him back to even. Big thanks to our friends over at Dietrich Design, and find a link in the description. He's in Arizona, so he wants to help out with more courses here. What are they doing on 7?
Yeah, hole 7, 645 feet. We have OB left and OB right. The right side does come into more play. Low ceiling off the tee. You really just need to get it up in the middle so you have a shot to get on the island green. Center cut.
And just when you were wondering where was that going, unfortunately not getting clear of this very first tree. It feels like those branches have been getting lower and lower throughout the years. Just a laser. Good ground play. Pretty much everything you want out of a drive here. How does that stack up with what you just threw? Were you guys pretty similar?
Yeah, pretty close to each other. I think he got me in distance by just a bit, of course, but we're both in great spots. And a backhand coming from Peter. I guess you kind of are forced to do it here.
Yeah, this was his first one, and he may then second guess it because it looks like that's going to be out of bounds. Par is still possible here for Andrew after that first shot.
Absolutely possible. He put his second shot to where an insane drive would land, so he has a pretty short up and down. Peter electing to go for it instead of laying up.
Yeah, another backhand. And that comes up short, so he's going to be out of bounds and have to go to the drop zone.
Yep, to the drop zone. It's kind of like a mix between a putt and a throw, kind of that awkward range.
Finding the island without a problem. Oh, and hits the placard. Seems kind of confusing as to if that's inbounds or not.
Yeah, we actually decided to take a provisional because I don't think anyone really saw what happened. And I'm not sure if the camera's going to show what happened, but I'll let you guys in on it if it does.
This little forehand approach to what feels like the weirdest time for the forehand. And he goes with it there after back-to-back backhands.
So this was actually just a provisional toss.
Okay.
So AB ended up actually being safe because his disc literally went through the wall. It like chopped it.
Okay, and so this is where it lands.
So this is the real shot.
Okay.
So this is for birdie.
Yep. Oh, on the left side chain, not quite enough. So just when he catches a break, not able to take advantage of it. Gonna be a little frustrated with that. Likely a speed bump coming here for Peter after going 3 under in the first 6. He's going to pick up the double bogey. A little bit of a momentum killer, especially on a hole that doesn't play as one of the most difficult out on the course.
And there is something I learned about Peter as well. He is the highest rated player in New Mexico.
Sounds about right. I think he comes in at an even 1,000 for his rating. And you're going to pick up birdie. 4 under through 7. That feels like a solid pace. Maybe more importantly, 2 shy of Barela. Some days it's difficult getting it in the basket and getting it out. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Appreciate you guys as we're here at hole number 8. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, the ideal hole. Water carried into an island green. 360 feet. Some people are going hyzer around everything. A lot of the time you'll see people just go up the middle and try and land safe there.
Even with a lack of wind, I think we're seeing more hyzer attempts here than normal in this iteration of the tournament. You're going straight up the middle. It turns and just keeps fading over to the right side. What is it that you're throwing there?
It's an ice steady BL. I feel like I should maybe be throwing more disc there, but that's just what I was used to throwing, so I continued it. And there's that big hyzer play. When the wind is right to left, it definitely helps a lot more. But when it's down like that, it's kind of tough to even get it there.
Just a putter for AB, I believe, as well, right?
Yes.
And that's just outside of the circle, 35, maybe 36 feet. Trimming some branches and finding circle's edge. Just off the front cage. We see some of the gallery there. I know it's a big day for football, and also the rain's probably keeping some people away, but seems like there's a good crowd out there trying to cheer you guys along.
Absolutely. Everyone was doing such a great job of cheering for us. Really felt at home out there.
And the stepper by Barela will put him to 3 under through 8. Back to the 3-stroke lead. It was 4 at the beginning of the round. Now Peter trying to bounce back after the double.
Those raised baskets will get you. They're sneaky.
And this hole typically has a basket that's almost lower than any other basket. So this is the first time we're seeing an elevated pin here on hole number 8.
And it's kind of like a weird elevated. It's not too high, and it's like not like it's kind of like that weird awkward range.
That's what I should hear from you guys in the comments. We've got giveaways every single round, every single video I put out. That's what I need to know, though, is how are you guys feeling about raised baskets? Do you like them raised to an extreme degree or just a little bit? Does it really matter to you? Let us know in the comments. But also make your predictions. If you really don't know how this shakes out, I think we're going to have an incredible battle, especially as we'll see Drew making a charge. We also have a 30% discount for the Distinguished Doodle. Just type in the Disc Golf Guy for 30% off as we head over to hole 9.
482 feet, a lot of water to avoid here. And there's actually a cart path on the right side you can't see. It definitely comes into play if you're trying to go over the top. You'll either see like a forehand hyzer over the water or a backhand over the top of everything.
And the water is a little lower than normal out here.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier for the forehand play.
Well, not this one.
No, it looks like he pulled it just a little too... tried to get back in bounds. That would have been pretty cool.
And so you went off the top of the basket in round number 1 here.
I actually went into the basket. It went directly in the middle of the chains, and it went straight through it.
Unbelievable. And this time you push way out, and that's going to give you a long look for birdie. And then during round number 2, you got stuck in the tree, didn't you?
Yeah, the 2-meter rule, man. That'll get you at the worst times. As you can see, Peter's forehand power, pin high, 482-foot hole.
I just think, like, those are 2 of the craziest extremes here on hole number 9. Splashing out and then also then getting stuck in a tree. No shortage of excitement out here. And that gets caught up, not quite the line that Andrew needed. So AB will go to the drop zone. Is that an option or is that required, or what was the conversation like?
Well, actually, we couldn't even find the drop zone for the longest time. We weren't sure if this was the drop zone, but he can always elect to re-tee, but he chose to go to the drop zone, which is still a tough shot from back there.
Yeah, it is. I want to say it's about 315 feet, if I recall. That's where the FPO plays from. Here you are with a birdie luck.
And this is right when it started to sprinkle a little bit harder. So we're all hiding under some umbrellas, getting some wet discs. As you can see, we're starting to miss metal here.
Andrew gets to here, and then is going to jam that one in. We saw some struggles on the previous putting green. Hole 9 is typically nobody's friend when you're out here.
like that one should have caught. Little high, little left.
And sometimes you see that happen, and now AB from almost the same distance has to step up with a similar putt. You're thinking, is this basket not like me? Is it leaning? Is there something I don't like about it?
Not for him.
Yeah, makes the good adjustment and really escapes with the best score you can after going OB the way he did. You keeping the disc protected for the last possible moment.
Yeah, definitely don't put me in the category of people that like playing in the rain.
I think that's a very small sample size. You're trying to grab that one out. Guys, we've got just 9 holes left to play. Anthony Barela has a 2-stroke lead at the moment. But Drew Gibson charging. He's 7 under through 9. We're going to see if he or anyone else can try and hunt Barela down. Like, share, subscribe again. We'll see you guys for the back 9. Thanks for joining us.